Representative Cafero.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, for a point of personal privilege.
Proceed, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Ladies and gentlemen of the chamber, it is with deep regret that I stand to make this point of personal privilege. If you look in Masons, you will see that a point of personal privilege is to be used by a member to defend themselves if they believe that they were attacked. It became public today that yesterday morning at Eastern State University, an adjunct professor by the name of Brent Terry addressed his creative writing class. In that address, Mr. Terry went on to talk about the upcoming election in 2014. In so, he said it's absolutely possible that Republicans will take over the Senate as well as the House. And we will live in a very, very different kind of country if that happens. I mean, colleges will start closing up if these people have their way. He went on to say racist, misogynistic, money-grabbing people have so much power over the rest of us, and they want things to go back not to 1955, but to 1855. There are a lot of people out there, said he, that do not want black people to vote, do not want Latinos to vote, do not want old people to vote or young people to vote because generally people like you are liberal. His comments were made in reference to what he believed would happen if the Republicans took over, I believe, the federal Congress. I am a firm believer in academic freedom, and I'm a firm believer that professors should have that freedom to express their views to their students. In many cases, certainly at a public university, students in a classroom are a captive audience. In this particular case, maybe they just wanted to take a creative writing class. I find it offensive as a Republican, as a parent, and frankly, as a citizen of the state of Connecticut, that we would have in our public universities a professor who would make such a comment. Because today it was about Republicans. Tomorrow it could be about Democrats. Maybe the next day could be about African Americans, Italian Americans, Jewish Americans. The list goes on and on. Academic freedom is a precious thing, and so is freedom of speech. But we realize that there should be some constraints and some decorum followed when we follow those rules. We are privileged to be part of a chamber that has worked so hard together on most everything we do to show that Republicans and Democrats do care about the people that we represent. That we might have differing views on how we get there, but we certainly have the best interests of this state and the people who live in it in mind. I personally am offended as a Republican by Professor Terry's comments. I would hope upon reflection that Professor Terry would have the decency to apologize to his class and apologize to the state university that employs him. And frankly, apologize to all citizens of the state of Connecticut for his inappropriate comment. I would also call upon the administration of Eastern Connecticut State University to demand that apology from its adjunct professor. I thank you for indulging me in this point of personal privilege. I believe it was one that I felt compelled to make. And I hope many of you believe as I do, that though academic freedom is so very, very important in our state and in academia, divisiveness, that kind of talk does no one any good. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I appreciate your time.
Without objection, thank you, sir. The House will stand at ease.